Sonicstate here at NAMM 2020 at the Apogee booth with Roger, and you've got something pretty cool to show us here.
Absolutely, we have Symphony Desktop.
Wow, so Symphony has been Apogee's top of the range kind of thing?
Absolutely, Symphony has always been reserved, that quality has always been reserved for the flagship interface, Symphony IO Mark II. And so now for the very first time, we're offering Symphony audio quality in a desktop format.
Okay, so cool. So audio interface, firstly, how does it connect?
Right. Well, of course, it's connecting via USB 2 using a Type-C connection. Questions, why USB 2? First of all, connecting to iPad Pro we think it's an important thing for music creators. So we do connect to Mac, Windows, and the iPad Pro and the other iPads. But we do use the Type-C connection to make it easy.
Okay, cool. So we're looking at a 2-mic channel?
Yes.
Yeah. What have we got in terms of connectivity?
So in connectivity, we've got 2 mic line instrument inputs. These use our advanced step gain mic preamp, 75 dB. They really have gotten a great reputation. On the front, we have a FET-driven input for guitars. With regard to outputs, we have 2 balanced line outputs, and then 2 separately assignable headphone outputs. Got a 1/4 inch on the front, 1/8 inch on the back, so if you lose the adapter, you're going to be able to get into one or the other.
All right, that's a good move.
Yeah.
I noticed there's a USB host at the back there. Is that so you can just for convenience to plug your keyboard in?
So that is actually, it will launch with USB MIDI functionality, but there's actually quite a bit to be revealed in later chapters.
Ooh.
And that's part of the mystery.
To keep us hanging on.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm looking at the interface now. Now this, we should mention, is a prototype.
Yes.
This will be a full touchscreen.
Touchscreen. So kind of the other aspect of our Symphony IO Mark II is it has a TFT touchscreen and this large encoder. So it's really the exact same user interface for Symphony Desktop.
In the desktop format.
In the desktop format.
So
I think the other really big aspect is it does have Onboard Hardware Dsp.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So that means you can run Apogee FX, our plugin suite, either on Onboard DSP or natively in your DAW.
So we look at the screen here. These are the Apogee plugins then.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have a Pultec plugin to the EQP1A and MEQ. Not the only plugins that are actually licensed and endorsed by Pulse Techniques, the hardware manufacturer. We have a Opto 3A, and we also have a more modern EQ and compressor that aren't shown. For this year, we're actually launching, this is our Symphony channel strip. Has a very effective EQ, compressor, and saturation in one channel strip. But the idea with our plugins, I like to think of it, it's kind of free your plugins. We let you use our plugins the way you want to.
Okay.
You can use them natively in the DAW, no hardware needed. You can use the onboard DSP to print through the plugins while you're recording. And then we have kind of an innovative workflow we call dual path link. And we're linking the two, the onboard plugins and the native plugins, to make direct monitoring with plugins really simple and intuitive. So we have these different workflows, but you choose the way you want to work.
So is that so you could monitor through the plugin, through the DSP for the low latency, but
Right.
then it doesn't print it, but it gives you the same plugin in your DAW?
Precisely.
Okay.
And the way we've done it is you open it up in your DAW, and all the direct monitoring happens automatically behind the scenes. So it's really that experience. You remain in your DAW, open up a plugin, hit record, and everything works just the way you expected to it without a lot of fuss.
So Apogee had a very strong relationship with Logic. So I'm assuming that
Still do?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I'm assuming that is going to integrate nicely with Logic, but I'm assuming also that it's going to work with everything else.
So the way it will work, and the way it actually works with our Element series, is when you're in Logic, when you connect up an Apogee piece of gear, you really have a direct button. It's a button that you see with no other audio interface. That is a magic latency eliminator. You do nothing else. You hit that button and latency just goes away. And then this will integrate to that, and also with the plugins. Now with other systems, there's a little bit more setup to do initially, but you get the same result. But with Logic, we also have the hardware controls in the channel strip. So certainly using our products and Symphony Desktop with Logic is so intuitive and easy.
Okay, so Have we got a price for it?
I do. One last thing, though.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And that is, this is the first product to have mic preamp emulation. And so we actually have kind of a hybrid system we call Apogee Alloy. So a lot of the mic preamp emulation is happening in the analog domain, and then it's followed by DSP. So there's lots of really cool kind of cutting-edge features going on in Symphony Desktop. And to answer your question about pricing,
Yeah.
so in order to get Symphony Desktop plus the channel strip plugin, that is $1,299.
Wow. Okay, so...
And
Yep.
for just a little bit more, you get Symphony Desktop in the entire suite of plugins. So that's just going to be $13.99. So it's a $500 value for just $100 more.
Okay, that's cool. And when I was looking at the back, we did there was ADAT connectivity as well. So
There's definitely ADAT connectivity,
Yeah, right.
8 channels of ADAT IO.
Right, cool. Okay, smashing. And do we know roughly when we're going to see this?
Roughly, we do. So it will be in this first quarter of 2020.
Okay, pretty soon.
So we are really kind of on the final stages.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Roger, for showing us.
My pleasure.